Hello everyone, I'm Paromita, welcoming you all to Mirpur Language Institute's weekly program 30 Minutes with MLI. In this program, we usually talk about many foreign languages and we also talk about how you can learn them effectively and can be benefited from them. But our today's program is a bit different and very special for us because today we're going to talk about our own language, our mother tongue, Bangla. And this program is more special for us because today we have someone with us today who is a non-Bengali person but learned this beautiful language Bangla and love this language. Our today's guest is Joseph Curl Samson. He is an assistant professor in the Department of Medical Illustration, graduate program of Augusta University of USA. And we also have with us Mansura Mahmuda ma'am, the founder and director of Mirpur Language Institute. Welcome, Joseph sir and Mahmuda ma'am to our show. How are you?
Thank you, Paromita.
Okay, so Joseph sir.
Yes, I'm fine.
Thank you. Joseph sir, can you tell a bit about yourself and your background for our audience?
Sure. Well, as you said, I'm currently an assistant professor of medical illustration, and it's at the Medical College of Georgia in Augusta, Georgia. And I live in Augusta with my wife, Sonia, who works for the diversity department at the same university. And we've been here about a year, actually maybe more like 6 months. And before that, we were in Athens, Georgia, at the University of Georgia. Sonia was completing her PhD there, and I was working as a medical illustrator at the Veterinary College there. So that's kind of my what I do professionally. And then I grew up in, well, I was born in Georgia, but grew up in the Midwest of the United States and in Illinois. And so I grew up there and didn't have any exposure really to any foreign languages or anything like that. So meeting Sonia and getting to know about her culture and the language, that was really the first time that I had been exposed to something like that.
Well, wonderful, sir. So what motivated you to actually learn this language? Is it because of your wife or?
It was, yeah. Actually, the first time I was exposed to it was before I met Sonia. One of my colleagues at the University of Georgia was from Calcutta originally, and we worked really closely together on projects. And he attempted to teach me a little Bangla at first, just like phrases, because he thought I'd be interested in it. So that was kind of interesting that I actually got a little bit of exposure to it before I actually met my wife. And they actually knew each other too, because at the university, it was a fairly close-knit group of Bangladeshi people and Bangla speakers. So everyone knew each other on campus, so they were familiar with each other. But I didn't meet her at that time. That was a few years before I met her.
Okay.
But that was the real impetus for me learning it, was because of my wife, and I wanted to be able to at least communicate with her family a little bit and understand what they were saying. So that was the main reason.
Right.
What was the exact year when you started learning the language? What was the exact year? How?
It would have been, I guess, 2017.
Okay, so are you using it now?
Uh, not really. I use it mainly to speak with Sonia and in phrases. I think it's more or less maybe the closest thing we do is Banglish, kind of English Bangla mixture, and it seems like we also make up our own words that are kind of a mixture between the two languages. So I think the
No,
fact that,
complete Bengali.
right, yeah, not complete, I would say.
So you only
Can you talk in a complete Bengali?
I'm sorry?
Can you talk in the complete Bengali? Completely?
No,
Fully
that's
Bengali conversation?
I would say I'm not proficient at all.
Okay.
So I'm still at the level, even though I kind of started learning and was exposed like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, um, I'm not proficient at all, I would say. And I think my wife and her family would agree to that I'm not.
Okay, so sir, do you only understand it, or you can speak it a little bit, or you can also write it as well, can like read it as well?
Oh, I can't write it at all. That was maybe the most difficult thing to understand was the script. Um, Actually, the very first thing my wife did when we first started dating was she made note cards and she put the Bangla script on one side and the English translation on the other side so that I could kind of flip back and forth. Um, so uh, that was kind of useful, but I never got to where I understood what the script meant. So I could not read it um, unless it was in English, written out in English language or English script, I should say.
Yeah, I
Do
understand.
you have any favorite sentence in Bengali? Favorite sentence that you
Oh,
like to use or you like to listen?
um, I really like, well, I think the most beautiful is Ami Tamake Balabashi. Uh, and that's one of the first things that I learned, one of the first phrases. So that's probably my favorite, I think.
But it should be,
Yeah.
Sir,
I guess,
language.
Sonia, are you here? Sonia, Miss Sonia is here.
I'm here, but I'm having a cold, so I do not really sound good. I'm just watching you and listening to you.
She has a
Okay,
respiratory infection.
you're with us. That's enough.
She's kind of quarantined right now.
Okay, so sir, that language is a part of culture, and when you learn a language, you do not merely learn the language. You also get to know about the people, their tradition, their culture. So, for example, I learned Japanese. I studied Japanese, and when I learned that language, I also learned a lot about Japanese people, their food, their culture, their tradition. So, how has learning Bangla influenced your understanding of Bengali culture?
A lot. I think the main, well, and one of the main things that I learned immediately was like how the names of different foods. And so when I went over to Bangladesh, that was I knew how to say the names of different foods, and I learned the names of a lot of different foods that we don't have in the United States. So uh, that was like one of the main immediate things that I was able to pick up. And so I think foods and let's see, although it's not, I guess, strictly about the language, but also the religion in Bangladesh. That's such a big part that I was able to learn about that as well. So just and I know that's Arabic, so it's different, but I think that also played a huge part in the culture for me. Um, and I think just like different kind of learning like the different little phrases, like to ask someone how they're doing, like to like and some of the things like to say how you are, like Kubi Balo. I learned that immediately, and just like introductions and kind of that sort of thing.
Okay, sir. So have you had any interesting cultural exchange experience as a result of speaking Bengali? Or how, native Bengali speaker reacts when they come to know that you can interact in Bangla?
Oh, I've had nothing but positive experiences with it. I think people are so surprised that I tried to learn and that I'm trying to learn, that even if I just with the little bit that I can speak, if I can say a phrase, that they're very excited about that. And I found that they're very uh accommodating to me. Like they want to teach me like how to say it correctly, and that I'm using it in the right way. So it's been a really positive experience, especially uh, when I went over to Bangladesh. Her family were very encouraging about teaching me and showing me like how to say all of the different things.
Okay.
For
So
how long you've been to Bangladesh? You visited Bangladesh for how long?
So
How many days?
I've been there twice. The first time was for about 3 weeks, and then the second time was about a week and a half or so. So not a lot of time, but
Did you talk to the common people of Bangladesh in Bengali?
I would say no, because when I went outside of the home, I was always with either Sonia or her father or one of her family members, and so they were able to kind of talk for me. So I didn't. I think the only conversation I had was with one of the neighbors. But as far as going and just being able to talk to people, I really didn't at that time. Maybe in the future when we go back. We haven't been back since COVID started, and that's one thing we want to do, is go back to see her family and to have a more extended visit.
okay.
So hopefully by that time I'd be able to have a better conversation with people.
Yeah, sure, sir. We're hoping for that too. Sir, I want to ask you something that, English is an international language, right? So if someone want to travel around or if want to study abroad or do their business globally, then learning English is crucial. But do you think that by learning Bengali, people can be benefited as Bangla is not like commonly used outside?
Right, right. Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think so, and in a way, in a more general way, because learning a language, especially one that's kind of outside the realm of like the Romance languages and European languages, it's just able to kind of like stretch your brain so much. I think it would make you a more uh, intellectually, better person, I think, being able to do that. Um, and I think that well, I don't know like the statistics of how many people speak Bangla worldwide, but I know it's a lot. And I think just because of that, and also it's not uh, too far away from Hindi. I think that, or there's at least some commonalities, and there's so many people that speak that. Just I think the fact that there's so many people in that region, and that there's a lot more commerce happening there. I think that it's a worthwhile language to learn, just for people interested in like doing business worldwide. So I think it is.
Yeah. Um, Another thing I want to ask, that um, English is a foreign language to us, right? So, but from our childhood, from school, we learn this language, but in our school, we rarely practice communicating in English. As a result, what happened is
Mm.
when we try to speak in English, first we think it in Bangla, then we try in the back of our mind we translate it in English, and then we speak. As a result, when we speak, we don't sound very confident. So in your case, as Bangla is a foreign language to you, so for your case, is it like that? First you think in English and then you translate it in Bangla. Is it like that?
It's definitely like that. I and because I'm not I am definitely not confident in it. So I have to think about what I have to say, and then I have to search for the word. And I think I think the only way to get around that is just to speak it all the time and in every situation. So like if for instance we're going to go back over and see Sonia's family in Bangladesh, I might have her only try to speak to me in Bangla for a couple of weeks beforehand. And I think doing that, it would get my confidence level up, and I'd be able to go, because I think you're right, having the confidence, even if you're not like the best at it or your pronunciation might be wrong, but having the confidence in it is like
Yeah.
so big, such a big part in being able to communicate. So I might try and do something like that. It's interesting. My sister, she is married to a man from Ecuador, and so they speak Spanish in her house, and he had the same thing where he spoke Spanish at home, and uh, she speaks Spanish in the home now too. So they're very, but then when they go outside the home, they both speak English. So I think like being able to, for her at least, to speak Spanish in the house, that makes her a lot more confident.
Right, sir. Mansura ma'am, any question from your side?
Okay. Did you ever celebrate the International Mother Language Day, or do you have any idea about that?
Is um is that Victory Day?
No, International Mother Language Day.
The Mother Language Day.
21st February. 21st February.
21st February. Sonia,
You
are
don't
you,
have any?
I want to ask my wife if we celebrated that before. I think we have.
I don't think we did it
We
together
didn't?
ever. No,
Okay.
we did not.
All right. So there's
Okay.
there's the
You don't
answer.
have any idea
have
about that?
I it sounds from I think I was told about it before. I guess I didn't realize that it was a celebration though.
Okay, ma'am, can you please tell him what it is about? Mansura Mahmuda ma'am.
Uh, it's a day when our people fought for the language. It happened in 1952. It's a long story. It's not
Oh,
possible to tell here now. I hope Sonia will inform you later. And it was in 1997 by UNESCO. It was declared as the Day of International Mother Language Day. And nowadays it is celebrating in the whole world. It is being celebrated.
oh, okay.
Basically,
And
you know,
it's coming
basically,
up.
yeah, it's coming up.
Yes.
It's
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
basically, our
Yeah,
people.
when we were deciding the topic, Paromita was saying that we should do it on 21st February because it's about Bengali language. I said, okay, we'll do something else again.
Oh, oh, that's very cool. I'll ask Sonia to fill me in on the history.
Yeah, it's sad also because many people sacrifice their life to establish this language as the official language of our country. It's actually, you know, an amalgam feeling because it's a proud moment for us and also a sad moment for us too. Okay.
Mm.
Sir, I want to ask you another thing. You know, when we speak in English, sometimes what happens is, you know, we feel very shy because we think that the person we're speaking to, I mean, the listener, if especially if he or she is a, you know, native English speaker, then we think that maybe he or she is going to judge us because if we make any mistake, they are going to laugh at us or something like that. Though I know this is mostly not the case, but it's just, you know, our thinking. We think that way. That, but for you, have you ever thought that way? Like, if you are going to make any mistakes while speaking in Bangla, that people are going to laugh at you or uh, make you feel uncomfortable.
Um, so far, the only one that's laughed at me has been my wife, which is expected. That doesn't bother me because she laughs at me for a lot of other things too. But I've found that when I try to speak it to native Bangla speakers, that they don't, it's not really judgmental at all. Like the opposite would be. I think you're right. I think native English speakers can be very judgmental to non-native English speakers and everything, word choice, pronunciation. But I haven't found that when I've tried to speak, which is great. That's part of it that's made me feel very encouraged about it.
So another thing I would like to ask, like,
Do you have any idea about in Bengali literature or any poet or any writer?
Oh, the probably my favorite is Tagore. Um, that was again, I have to thank my wife for introducing me to Tagore because I had no idea about him before I met her, and she gave me a book about him, some of his writings, uh, and it's very beautiful stuff. We at our wedding we had our um, the officiant who married us did a recitation from Tagore.
Really, that's nice.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
What was that? Do you remember?
I think it was Balobashi, Balobashi.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's been kind of a favorite. And then we watch a lot of soap operas and cartoons also. That's not it's not poetry or anything, but just like entertainment. And I like those a lot too.
okay. So we have many participants here. Anyone from our participants, do you have any question for our guest? If you have any question, you can ask.
our students are here, like Jahidul and Muhaiminul Jinan.
Yeah. Anyone? Jahid, do you have any question for our sir?
I don't have any question because the question I was thinking, every question ma'am asked.
Okay.
That's so sweet.
Okay. Sir,
Muhaiminul Jinan?
Oh, I had a question, but it's cleared up now.
I wanted to ask you something that, you know, by seeing your journey of learning this language, if anyone from your country, like from USA, if anyone feel interested to learn this language, is there any possibility or is there any organization or institute from where they can learn it?
So I know occasionally at the University of Georgia, where I was at, they'll have Fulbright language teachers come. And that's actually how my wife originally came to the University of Georgia, was through the Fulbright program. And they do a full year of teaching that language, whichever language they come over for. So occasionally they'll teach it in the curriculum at the University of Georgia. I think there are a few other programs at I think at Cornell and Indiana, at least as far as like university level courses. Other than that, I think just like things like Duolingo and YouTube, those
Yeah.
are probably, the YouTube's a great resource, although, you have to, figure out like what is the best like quality control on YouTube. But
Right.
I think those are, yeah.
Right. Sir, we're running out of our time. So do you have anything, any message for our audience?
I just want to say thanks for having me. And thanks for rescheduling. I know we had this for last week. But
I'll request you to say something in Bengali
okay.
to our audience.
Oh God, what can I say? All right. Amar Kudalakse. That's one of my favorite things to say.
Oh, you say that to Sonia, right? Regularly.
Yes. Exactly.
That's good. Good.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for coming to our show. We are very happy that a foreigner, especially we Bengalis become very happy when we find out that a foreigner, a non-Bengali person is showing interest in our language, love our language. This is something very special to us. So thank you for coming to our program. And when you will come back to Bangladesh, when you will come to Bangladesh, we will definitely going to meet. And we will, expect that you speak more fluently in Bangla at that time.
Okay. The pressure is on then. But that would be wonderful.
Yeah, sure. Mansura ma'am, do you have any last message for us?
Yes, it is really great to know that our language is learned by the other country people, like Mr. Joe is here. I know him from his wife, but there are many more people they are learning and they are working in Bangladesh. Even I had to teach some foreigners here in Bengali in Bangladesh. They are working and they are more interested in Bengali, and they want to work more and they want to meet the people of Bangladesh and be attached with them more closely. With them means Bangladeshi people. That's why they are learning the language, and sometimes they knock me um, for more classes, and it's really proud for us. It's not that he learned the language only for his personal reason, but for professional reason, people are also learning Bengali. That's very good thing.
That's wonderful. Yeah, that's glad to hear that.
Yeah.
And I found, let me share one thing from Brazil. One guy knocked me to WhatsApp that two persons will come to Bangladesh for a project and they need to learn Bengali. And they were very much interested. So I found it really good that our language is like we deal with English, we deal with Japanese, other languages, and people are going abroad
Hello,
to work
Assalamu
there.
alaikum.
And people are coming to our country also. That's very nice. That's a proud moment for us.
Yeah. Okay. So as our time is running out now, so we'll have to conclude today's program. Thank you, sir, for joining with us today. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, ma'am, for joining with us. We will talk later, very soon, I think. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.